It's on my head. Hey! Good evening, everyone. This is your girl, Quadria Marie, live on the Q podcast. I'm very excited tonight. I have a dear friend of mine, Tobias Fox. He's joining us on the live tonight, live stream. And Tobias, I know you're in the middle of driving. I just told him I don't want to get into any accidents on my live. There's too many witnesses up here. But he said, he said what did you say? The car is your office, or the road is your office?
Yeah, so no, I mean my office is mobile, and so
Right. That's it. Gotta
yeah,
always be
and
mobilized.
it's like you're sitting next to me in the car, and it's not like I'm
Right.
texting. I'm not texting. It's all
Right.
hands
Please,
free.
yeah, please though, because they'll have you right on film.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
So
don't want you.
no,
I
but
don't
I
want you to get
am.
in any trouble.
I'm heading home. I just left a meeting.
Mhm.
Here in Newark. I'm heading home, and I didn't want to miss this opportunity to talk to you. Uh,
Yeah, definitely.
and so I'm here. I'm making it work.
Yeah, I definitely appreciate you coming out. I know we spoke briefly last week about you coming on, but we officially, booked it last night, so less than 24 hours. So I definitely again appreciate you coming on. I wanted you on for a few reasons. I know it's been a while, since I've seen you, but I just want to get everybody just a brief background on the Q Productions. It's a media production company. Our focus or goal, I should say, is to inspire and educate the urban community on personal health, wellness, and fitness through podcasts, books, events, and films. We advocate for a healthy lifestyle, which is why I have my guest Tobias Fox here tonight. He is the founder and managing director of North Science and Sustainability Inc. I'm definitely going to give the floor to him in a few minutes, but as you guys come on, just send a wave in the comments so that we can see you guys and give you guys a shout out. Again, if you have any questions for Tobias, please feel free to comment. I'm going to put him on the screen so he'll answer it, and I'll just fade in the back so he can answer any of your questions regarding healthy eating, North harvest that we have, and he's the environmental man. That's what I'm going to call you tonight. He's one of the main people I know when I'm researching, looking up different just eco arts and all these new terms that I never heard of before. I know to reach out to Tobias and check out his North Science Sustainability website, Newark SAS. I'm just going to abbreviate it real short. But Tobias, would you just like to give just a brief introduction on yourself as well as Newark SAS?
Right. So I am founder and managing director of North Science and Sustainability Inc. We advocate for the localization of food and energy production, and we do this mostly by way of hands-on learning activities around urban agriculture, renewable energy, ecological building, eco art, and wellness and nutrition. And so within each of those pillars, we have different types of brands or programs or initiatives. And so urban agriculture lays the foundation of the work that we do. And then within that framework, we have a farm to table co-op, which also mirrors a community supported agriculture or CSA program,
Mhm.
where people are able to purchase um, their membership in advance. And in return, they receive 20 weeks of produce packages. And so they come to the garden every week for 20 weeks and pick
Wow.
up their produce package. And then we have other activities as well for youth. We have our summer youth sustainability ambassador program that usually goes on between 5 to 6 weeks during the summer. And within our wellness and nutrition initiative, we have a lot of workshops around health conscious cooking, herbalism workshops.
Mhm.
And then there's
Mhm.
the Eco Art Initiative, where we have Art Grows in Newark, where children
Yes.
um, get a lot of hands on activities and experiences around urban agriculture as well as, or I should say gardening, as well as art. And so eco art
Mm-hmm.
is the transformation of natural and recycled materials into art. And there's some art therapy involved in that as well, that we provide to our young people. And so
Yes.
yeah, so I do a lot. I do a lot of organizing with local growers throughout Newark. We also manage the Newark Community Food System, which is a collective of about 15
Mm.
to 20 growers within the city of Newark. And
Wow.
and within that, we have like 3 annual community events. And so the
Mm-hmm.
first annual community event we have under the Newark Community Food System brand is the annual Sustainable Living Empowerment Conference. And then we have what we have coming up next week, which is the Citywide Garden Tour. And then
Mm-hmm.
following the Citywide Garden Tour, we have a community meal. And
Yes.
so, yeah. And oh, I should add that we are in the process of purchasing city property and
Wow.
developing a sustainable year-round urban farm, some
Mm.
mixed-use development. And so we're definitely expanding. And then we have an initiative in the Dominican Republic as
Mm.
well. And so we're doing a lot, man. And then there's some outreach in the Philippines that I'm working on. And so
Wow, I didn't even know all that you guys were really expanding beyond just the city of Newark.
yes, it's true. We are. And so we so we
Yes.
use the concept of thinking globally, acting locally. And
Mm-hmm.
so
Yes, I was going to ask you about that slogan because I thought that was really awesome. Short and to the point.
right.
So, did you create that, or was that like a collaborative effort?
No. So no, that's um, a term that's widely used
Mm.
throughout the world. And so for me, I look at it. So I kind of personalize it, because for me, it's like, I know how to, I may not know how to single-handedly solve the problems to world hunger,
Right.
but I do know how to engage with the people in my community
Mm-hmm.
and transform a vacant lot into a community garden, so the people
Right.
there can have access to fresh, locally grown produce. So I can do that. And so I think about
Yes.
the global issues, and then I act local. And so I call that global.
Yes. Yes. I love that term. I'm going to be using that. So
Good, good,
I'm going to
good.
help spread the word. 'Cause I just because
That's right.
it's
Be
stuck with
local. Be local.
be local.
That's right.
Now, just briefly, how did you get involved in this? Wanting
Ah,
to
yeah,
help
that's
the
interesting. That's
community as
interesting.
far as eating
Yes.
health.
So I grew up in a house. I grew up in East Orange, where I
Mm-hmm.
live now, and
Oh.
I grew up in a household. I was born in Newark, but and I lived as an adult. I lived throughout the entire city of Newark for 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I spent some time at Irvington, but I'm a product of the East Orange public school system.
Mm-hmm.
And I grew up in a household of 16. And
That's 16.
yeah, man, grew up in a household of 16.
Wow.
So food insecurity was at the
Yeah.
top of the list.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. And so I
Oh
grew up
man.
poor, and
Yeah.
I mean, I used to steal out of supermarkets and corner stores, and
Mm-hmm.
always hungry, um, and so as a way to escape poverty, I decided to go to college for creative writing, and filmmaking.
Mm.
And it was I think it was 1999 or year 2000 when
Mm-hmm.
I got into book publishing. Good friend of
Wow.
mine still, Terry Benjamin, kind of introduced me to the world of writing fiction and book publishing.
Mm-hmm.
And he was a college professor of mine, and it became a friend and then a business partner.
Wow.
And so for 10 years of my life, I was a publisher, editor, ghostwriter, co-author,
Mhm.
and it wasn't until uh, 2011 when I became so
Mhm.
burnt out. It's a money-driven field, and I got
Yeah.
so burnt out by it,
Mhm.
you know. And
Mhm.
my world just came crashing down on me. In 2011, I was no money coming in, so I was
Mhm.
just broke. Um, Found myself having to sleep uh, on my cousin's couch and eventually staying with my cousin because I had no place to live. I was collecting food stamps as a way to feed myself,
Mhm.
and I was trying to figure out like how do I reinvent myself from all this? You know, what do I do next? You know,
Right.
and then it was in October of 2011 when someone informed me that a group of people had marched on Wall Street
Mm.
demanding economic justice, and um, I didn't know what that meant, and so I thought, you know, that was something, you know, some checks or something was being handed out. You know, I didn't
Right.
know. I
Yeah.
can use some economic justice, you know,
Right.
and
All of us.
so
Yeah.
and so I scraped up some change,
Mhm.
jumped on a PAV train, um, went to World Trade Center, walked a few blocks down to Zuccotti Park, or once
Mhm.
called Liberty Square Park, and
Yes,
this is
Chris.
where
Reinvention.
yeah, and so this is where I
Yes.
met a large group of activists and organizers in this open space, small open space,
Mhm.
all congregating about how to make life better. And it was an epiphany for me. I never witnessed anything like this before. I'd never been a part of anything like this before, and I was
Right.
blown away. I was blown away by it, and it was a magnet pull, if you will, that just kept me there. And I just kept going back there to absorb information, be
Mhm.
around people. It was a just new source of energy. And then during the process, I started meeting rural and urban farmers, and I didn't know. I know what farming in a rural setting is, right? And
Right.
so, but I didn't know what urban farming. I'm like, what is that? What do you mean urban
Right.
farming?
I didn't hear of that term until I met you, actually.
Right. And
That
so
was my first time.
yeah, and so I would meet these people from Brooklyn, and they would say, "Are you there?" I'm
Yes,
sorry.
I'm here.
Okay, good. Sorry about that. But and they were like, "Yeah, we're urban farmers," and they would just explain what that meant. And so they would say, we grow food on rooftops, backyards, front yards,
Mm.
and vacant lots, and wherever we can." I says, "Wow." And so I got turned on by that. And then in
Mhm.
2011, YouTube was starting to really take off, and
Right.
I started watching YouTube videos and was like, "Wow, people actually growing food, wherever they
Really,
can."
right.
And so in 2011, I I learned that the city of Newark or in 2012, I learned that the city of Newark has an adopt a lot program where you can adopt a vacant lot for the purpose
Wow,
of
I didn't know that.
transforming. Right, they have this program where you can
Wow.
adopt a vacant lot and transform that vacant lot into some type of green space. And
Wow, that's
so
awesome.
at that time, as I was transitioning out of this whole concept of Occupy Wall Street, which is
Mhm.
what I was indoctrinated into when I went to New York and learned that
Mm.
this economic justice protest was the birth of Occupy Wall Street. And so, as I was transitioning out of that movement, because it was kind of really being dissolved, and
Yeah.
so I started to create a working group, a community group called Newark Science and Sustainability. And then when I learned about the city's Adopt a Lot program, I
Mhm.
brought this to the group's attention and says, "Hey, let's adopt a vacant lot and turn it into a garden. Now I had
Wow.
no gardening experience, but I
Mm,
was just really like on this high from what I had been experiencing in
right.
New York um, through Occupy Wall Street. And then I became a lead organizer for Occupy Newark.
Wow.
And so I had this energy still in me wanting to do some good, you know?
Right.
Um, and so that's when I started getting into the world of urban agriculture. And so we took on our first lot, which is we call the People's Garden at
Okay.
86 Garside Street. We still utilize this space,
Hmm.
and we um, we had about like 50 people come out, 50 or more people come out to help us transform this space. And I
Hmm.
remember
Wow.
two of the elders in the group, they said, Tobias, you know, we love what you do. You're really good at organizing, bringing people together. But we
Hmm.
notice every time you come to the garden, you just stand around and watch everybody. Um, you don't know nothing about gardening, do you? And I says, no, I don't. And so these two European American middle-aged women became my mentors and
Mm.
taught me everything they knew about agriculture and gardening and plants and soil and water. And I just started absorbing that information like a sponge. And then I started going online, doing additional research.
Hmm.
And um, and then it was someone who said, you know, Tobias, you're doing a lot with a little bit of money. You should really think about turning this community group into a nonprofit organization. And um, and then I learned that Rutgers Law School, they have a community law clinic that help people like myself with a wide range of things, you know. And so they took me on as one of their clients and helped us reestablish ourselves as a 501c3 nonprofit organization. And that's how we've been operating
Wow. That was a
since
blessing.
July
Yeah.
2013. Yeah. And so
Wow.
that's how I got involved into this.
Well, that is definitely a historical background to get into this because it pretty much almost fell into your lap where it's almost like you had to do this.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean? Like it's to me it just feels like it was a calling for you to do this.
That's
And
what it felt like.
I watched you online and you're very passionate about it that you make other people want to learn more about it.
Oh, that's
And
awesome. That's
a
good.
lot of people don't have that that effect on people, especially people who aren't directly involved, who are from the outside watching.
Right.
So,
That's good.
hey MJ, thank you for joining. I just want to briefly say, for anyone who is watching, comment below or send a little wave in so we can shout you out, say hello to you. Again, we're here to answer all of your questions. If you have any questions or any comments that you would like to share with either Tobias or myself. So I'm just like, again, I appreciate you coming on, tonight. I already learned some things about you that I didn't even know previously. And sometimes you think you know everything about someone and then you start talking to them and having a conversation and you just start learning all these new things. So I'm always excited about that.
That's good.
Can you talk briefly about Newark's Harvest, the citywide garden tour? I know that's happening right now, right, as we speak.
Well, yeah, so I can. So the citywide garden tour it started. I started doing this in 2017 as
Mm-hmm.
part of Newark's 350th anniversary, and um,
Wow.
and and so what it does is it gives people an opportunity to recognize and be a part of the green spaces that exist throughout the city of Newark that they may not be
Right.
aware of.
Right. They're
Uh,
probably
and
not.
right,
Mm-hmm.
and so um, I organized with about 15 to 20 local growers
Mm-hmm.
in the city of Newark, and we do this under the banner of the Newark Community Food System. And so we get together, and I tell people that it can't be like a showcase garden tour. It
Right.
has to be kind of activity driven, and so it allows people to, for a week long, explore the city of Newark and the green spaces that exist there, especially the gardens or urban farms, as some people describe them.
Right.
And they take part of the activities that exist. And so some of those activities consist of harvesting the produce that's there, learning how to make herbal medicine, meditating and doing yoga in the garden,
Right.
or helping to beautify the garden, bring it back to life. And so there's a wide range of activities. You know, there's some STEM and STEAM activities going on for young people to be a part of.
Wow.
And so it's exciting. So we've been doing this. This is the third year of doing this. And what makes this year more important, I believe, is because of all of the things that have been going on in 2011, especially with this global pandemic, which
What's going
caused
on
many of
now?
us to kind of be sheltered in place.
Right.
And here's what people, excuse me, one moment, sorry. As I walk into my apartment, sorry.
Right. It's always like that.
But here's what people are forgetting is that winter is coming. And so we need to kind of embrace and enjoy what's left of summer. And the
Yeah, we
Citywide
sure
Garden
do.
Tour allows us to do that. And so I'm definitely urging and encouraging and even begging people to come out and enjoy nature, be a part of life.
Yes, definitely. People definitely need to come out and enjoy some fresh air, some fresh food. Instead of, what we've been buying, in our supermarkets. We need to support, our local farmers. And that's something that even myself that I've, started to get into more recently. I still need help, but I know I can turn to you for that, for advice.
Yes.
Of where to shop local. So I am supporting, my local community and feeding myself healthy nutrients that I definitely know I need.
We all need nutrients. And
Yeah.
so, plants mirror human beings. And so
Right.
plants need proper nutrients and
That's
the proper
true.
environment to survive. And so do we. So do we.
Now that's a great comparison.
Yep. And so following the week-long garden tour, we will have a community meal. And so the community meal is one of the 3 community events that we have. And that would take place on Saturday, September 26th.
Okay.
From 12 noon to 4 p.m. And it will happen in the Vailsburg section of Newark. But again, it is the concept of utilizing, this is a farm-to-table community meal. And so it's using food as this unifier to bring people together. A lot of the food that we use and distribute comes from a lot of the local gardens and urban farms here in Newark. And so another major event people should definitely consider to support,
Yeah, I'm glad you have all these different events going on. I kind of wish I had you on. Well, I just started. This is actually just my 5th show. So I kind of wish I started some of this early in the summer so that, we could have, talked about all of the upcoming events. But it's good to hear that you still have some events happening that people can, attend.
Right. I'm like walking you through my whole life right now, yeah.
I know, yeah.
Wow. Close and intimate with Tobias.
Yeah, but that's how it's supposed to be. So people can feel that they connect to you on a personal level.
Yeah, well.
Literally. I'm just glad that you made it home safe, because I was a little worried for a little bit, but you made it.
Well, I appreciate the concern, but yeah, I'm glad to be here. Oh man, so let's talk about. Do you remember when we met? You and I.
I always see. This is why I always tell people. Like I have like a brief of what you call recollection, a vision of when I meet people. Like sometimes when I meet people, it just feels like I've just known them for a long time, and then a year will pass, and I'm just like I totally can't pinpoint exactly when. It's just like a feeling I have. I'm just like, oh, I know them.
Feeling, just a sixth sense. Get out of here. And so you were all right. So it was downtown Newark, at a venue that was once a club / restaurant lounge, whatever. And you were, I think, maybe a manager, artist promoter.
Probably right, artist manager.
And it was these brothers I'm friends with still, and literally brothers. They're and they were doing an artist exhibit of some sort downtown, and at this venue. And I was actually there volunteering to help run the door, and I would occasionally leave the door to check out the show,
Right.
And that's where we met, and we started talking, and then we exchanged contacts, and we stayed in touch ever since.
Yeah.
Do you know what year that was? I can't remember what year that was.
That's why I let you talk, because you know all that. For me, it's just like I said, it's just a feeling. People ask me, I'd be like, oh, I just known him for a long time, which it does feel like it has been, right? It's been at least probably over 5 years at least, right?
Gotta be, because
it has to be over that.
Yeah. So it had to be.
Yeah, see, I got that much.
Yeah,
I know it had to be like 2000, probably even longer than that, 2013 or 2014.
So I guess it seems like every 5 years, people, and not all, but it seems like there's this 5-year period that comes along where we go through these transitions in our lives. It's like this 4 to 5 years. It's like, should I be still doing what I'm doing? Is there something else I should be doing? Is there, because I never saw myself doing the work that I'm doing. I never in my thought that I would be, in love with tomato plants and.
But it's a good thing you are, though, because like I said, if it's your calling. You were led there for a reason.
Yeah, it's true.
You may not have known that you would be here, but that's where you are, and it's a good thing.
It is. It's a beautiful thing. I mean, I love it. So I get to travel. I get to travel and engage with people in other parts of the world, and that's in cultural / educational experience in itself. Right. And it's a cool journey. I can't lie. It's a really cool journey that I'm on right now.
Yeah, and also, I wasn't aware until recently that you're working with my cousin Bilal as well.
Yeah, Bilal is
so
cool.
I just said wow, and it's what's more funny is that me and him met via Facebook. We actually haven't met in person yet, even though we're cousins.
Well, how do you know your cousins? Hold on. How do you know your cousins then?
Well, we know through, like I said, through Facebook that we're related, that we're family, but we haven't actually met in person. And I actually have a number of cousins like that, but that's what Facebook does. It lets you know who you're related to.
Wow.
And you just start connecting, and here he is, right in Newark, and I didn't even know he was like this close by.
Well, that's interesting. Yeah. So Bilal is Bilal's an interesting guy, man. He's he's turning urban agriculture into something else. He's he's interesting. You have to see his garden in Newark.
Yes, I do.
Jono on Grafton. This guy he's just turned this garden into this really social space. And it's like, I'm like, I don't know if I should come in there dressed like I'm going to garden, or if I should dress up like I'm going to an outdoor lounge or something. I don't.
Wow.
What's the dress code to get into your garden, Bilal? If you're listening,
to get in, yeah. and I was trying to get him. I was trying to get him to come on tonight as well, but I know he has, like you, has a lot, stuff going on and things, and he wanted, to meet up in person first. I guess just so I can, just get prepared, like, immersed in him. So I can, see what he was all about and things before, he came on the platform. But I'm definitely going to still meet up with him. I know Saturday he invited me out to, is it the Argo Festival that you guys are having? I believe on this Saturday coming up. I know he invited me out to it as press if I was available.
Okay, that's cool. That's good. Yeah. So I'm really impressed with what he's doing. And I mean, for him to have no agricultural experience at all, I mean, I helped him out one day, and he came out there with, a pen and notebook taking notes. Like, okay, how much distance you put with each plant, and so he's really taking it very serious, so which is good. And he has vision, and so that's good. That's good,
Yeah, I definitely, look forward, to meeting him as well, because I know if he's like you or anything, like you, as far as empowering and pushing this movement of having a self-sustaining community, I definitely know I'm going to want to follow and pay attention to what he's doing. But I could just watch and see him on on Facebook, and I'm in the group as well on Jana on Grafton. And I'm like, okay, yeah, he's about that. He's serious about what he's doing. Yeah, and that's with anything. If you love something, you should go hard for it.
Right. I agree 100%. Yeah, so I'm excited for next week. So Sunday kicks off the Citywide Garden Tour, and each day there's a series of events. And I'm just excited because I get to, I don't have this year, thankfully, I'm not facilitating any event. And so the events that are occurring at the garden that I manage is the activities is being facilitated by someone else. And so I'm able to take my camera because I do a lot of photography. So I'm able to take my camera and document all this stuff, and so I'm excited that I get to do that.
Yeah, because now you can work like when you saw your photography and as well as probably videography too. But like you said, it's very different when you're hosting or running an event. You can't just stop and go into a photographer mode as much as you want to. You have to focus on actually running the event, which just takes all of your focus and energy.
Yes, it does. Yes,
and you're like, I just want to be a photographer for 10 minutes or so, but you have to give that to someone else. You have to hand that over. So I know you feel good about that you can at least sit back now and work your other talents.
Right. So I just want to grab something real quick. So September 1st, I changed up my eating schedule. I don't eat after 8 p.m.
Okay.
And the next time I eat again will be tomorrow at 12 noon. And so.
Wow, really?
Yeah, really. Yeah. And so I just want to grab something really quick.
Sure, yes. So if you guys are watching, again, this is your girl, Quadria Marie of Live on the Q podcast. I'm here with Tobias A. Fox. He's going to grab him something to eat because he's not going to eat again until 12 noon tomorrow. I have to get on this diet that he's on. I just went to my doctor today, and my doctor and I talked, and we said, Quadria, you're a nice little thick girl. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But you probably do have to, work on just losing a little bit, a little bit of pounds, a little bit of weight, which is fine because I know I've been, sitting around like most people in COVID, working from home, mostly eating. I was going out, doing my walks. I somehow injured both of my heels, so that's why you guys haven't seen me out walking probably in the last 2 weeks or so. So that's also contributing, to me gaining weight. But I'm very determined now, especially after listening to Tobias right now, to work on that. Lose 15. 20 pounds, still keep that thickness, that butter love body, but I can do that and still keep that 20 pounds lighter. So that's one of my missions that I'm focused on now, is to try to work on my diet. Right now, I actually don't eat a whole lot, but it's more so about what it is that I am eating, and I think that's the case for a lot of people out here. Our bodies change, as we get older. And that's something I can definitely have a testament towards, that your body does change. You can't eat the same foods that you were eating, at 18 or, at 25. So, 5 years from 40, I still think I look good, youthful and all those, nice things. But I still have to take care of myself. As we all do. We all have to practice different healthy eating habits, just an overall, healthy lifestyle, making sure we get all our vitamins in, that we get the right amount of water that we need every day. Of course, mentally, that's a big part of it. It's not just physical. You guys always see me post about, meditating, which is something I've been doing probably the last 2 months or so on a daily basis, making sure I get my daily meditation in, start my day off right. Stretches, injured my back as well, so I've been just getting myself together. Yoga, getting into that some more because that helps me, and that's it. I just gotta keep pushing myself. Like I said, I have Tobias here. Is probably gonna help give me some tips, or maybe tonight you can just share some of your healthy tips for those of us that's just starting, our journey. So Tobias, I was just telling the viewers, that I'm trying to work on losing, some weight myself, that I need to get like you, eating before 8 o'clock and being able to wait until the next day instead of snacking, throughout the night. Right. And it's hard. Like I said, it's very hard when you're working from home, especially now during this COVID. And that's been the case for me and a lot of other people. The weight just comes on. So I just went to my doctor today, and my doctor and I both discussed that, I probably could work on, losing some weight. So my goal is to lose another 20 pounds, probably 25 pounds. Right. And I'll probably feel, a lot more healthier, probably be more, energized once I lose some of the weight. Right. So I definitely need to work on, the timing thing, not eating after a certain time, because I'd be on Netflix watching stuff, and I'm like, oh, let me grab, some chips, or even worse, I'll actually eat healthy food, but it's probably the amount that I'm eating as well, because that's another trick for people. A lot of times people think that, if it's something they're healthy, that they can eat a lot of it, but that's not necessarily good either. Right. I mean, you couldn't sit and eat, 20 asparagus either. Right. At one time. So everything is still done in moderation, even, if it is a healthy food.
That's true. Good point. That's true. Good point. And so, sometimes, most times we overconsume food, not realizing it. And so, I mean, I learned in a nutrition course I took at Essex County College some years ago
Mhm.
It was my first time learning about how we inappropriately overconsume meat,
Mm.
overconsume
Yeah.
meat. And so I learned that course helped me learn how the body process food. And so
Mm.
red meat is far more heavier
Right.
than the chicken and fish, and so the body works a lot more, works harder to
Mhm.
break down red meat, and so it's not
Right.
healthy to consume meat with every meal. Some people feel like their
Mm.
meal is complete if they have meat with it, and so they have, meat with their breakfast, meat with their lunch, meat with their
Right. Yeah.
dinner, and then they trying to figure out why in their 40s, which is a relatively young age in our society today, why in their 40s they're dealing with so many health issues.
Mhm.
It's just that they had no understanding about um, eating in moderation, and also
Right.
over consuming certain foods can be detrimental to one's health. And so yeah,
Mhm.
and so but for me, I wanted to a friend of mine's, Terry Benjamin. Big shout out to Terry Benjamin. Um, he said to me about I don't know, some years ago. He said to me, I always compliment him on how well he looks at his age, and so he just
Mhm.
celebrated, I believe, his he just celebrated his 70th birthday, I believe,
Wow.
and he looks really good, and so I remember him saying to me some years ago, it's like, Tobias, you don't wait until you're 49 to decide how you want to look when you're 50,
Mm.
you know?
Well, that's something, right? Yeah.
Yeah, he said, he said that's something you should start planning many years ahead, Uh,
Mm.
and so,
Wow.
yeah, and so I want my entire later part of my life to be the best years of my life. And so
Right. Yes.
one way to do that is to be conscious. And so I'm just trying to become more conscious of when I eat, how much I eat, and what I eat.
Mm.
And so and now I started incorporating that with fitness. And so now I do
Right.
a lot of physical activities, exercising, and all that stuff. And in addition to changing my eating schedule.
And you need all of those things to have the right body. I mean, it
Yes,
takes a combination of all of those things.
yes, that's true. That's true. It does. I mean, you can't just yeah. And so I tell people you can't just have wellness without nutrition education. You
Right.
have to have it too. It goes hand in hand. It just makes no sense. And so and so in our gardens we have, not only do we have a variety of produce and leafy greens, but we also
Hmm.
have a variety of herbs, medicinal herbs as well. And so we make our own medicine in our
Wow.
garden. And so yeah, and we grow things that help boost your immune system. But we've been so conditioned to think that whatever we are prescribed from a doctor is much better than what your
Right.
local gardener gives you or your local farmer gives you. Um, it's just ridiculous. And so the way that we've been conditioned out of um, things that are good for us to
Mm.
really promote, subscribe to, and uh, promote things that aren't good for us. And so
Mhm.
it's all about conditioning, and then you have to recondition yourself to
Right.
a lifestyle. And so the things that we do through North Science and Sustainability Inc. is to try to provide that choice, right? And
Mm.
so try to provide more diversity and choices in people's lives with regards to sustainability and healthy food access and lifestyle choices.
Yeah, we definitely need that. Every community needs it, but especially urban communities, because
Absolutely.
we don't. Well, now we do. I don't want to say we don't, because we have you guys, so we do have access to more than just the local fast food restaurants.
Right.
There's really not no excuse, especially if you're a Newark resident. And all the initiatives that you guys have going on. If someone wants to eat healthy, they do have resources. So that's very good to know, and that's one of the reasons I want you to have you come on, is that you can promote that, because some people really don't know.
Right.
They just Popeyes and that's it.
Yeah, and the city of Newark is really cool because you got like I said, you have 15 or more local gardens and urban farms that are accessible to you. You have and then you have the ShopRite, which I love in Newark.
Yes, me too.
I mean the diversity in products they have in there is just humongous.
Right.
It's like, wow, and then you have the Whole Foods in downtown Newark as well.
Right, that's true.
So more options. People just have to be more informed about those options, and educated about how to utilize those choices that they have, that they probably not that well aware of.
Right, and that's the thing. They're not. And that's one of the reasons why I just felt it was important to have you come on, so that people are aware.
Well, I'm here.
A lot of people don't. They really don't know, or they're curious. They even like myself. They want to start, supporting and eating better. But it's so much information out here that people's brains are getting weighed down with all this information, not knowing what's the best place to go.
That's true.
You need to have a centralized location where you can go at to educate yourself.
And you don't have to become a vegan or a vegetarian to be healthy. You really don't. I mean, if you give up meat, that's great. That's an awesome thing. But you don't necessarily have to do it if you don't want to. It's just that you have to be more conscious about how much you are consuming. You cannot over consume. You should not eat meat every day with every meal.
No.
You are slowly killing
I can't believe people are actually doing it though. Like eating meat every meal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's unhealthy. I'm sorry. I mean, like, skip it for a day or two so you can appreciate it. You appreciate it on day 3,
Right, that's true. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really eat too much meat myself. The meat I do eat, I'll eat chicken, for the most part. So I pretty much cut out, eating red meats as well, and beef, because it just wasn't making me feel good either.
Right, and so I started reading this book called.
Hey, Javon, thank you for joining.
I started reading this book called "Eat for Your Type." It talks about eating for your blood type, and so I learned that I'm.
I didn't know they had that.
Yeah, it's an awesome book.
Depending on your blood type, I never heard that before.
And it breaks it down by each blood type, and I learned that O blood type is the oldest human DNA.
Yes, thank you.
Yes. It's the oldest human DNA found, and this DNA is comes out of the hunters and gatherers who options were to hunt for their food, and so according to this doctor's research, the O blood types are meat eaters, and then the hunters and gatherers started learning how to cultivate the land and became farmers. And from that came the A blood types. And so
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and so I was reading this book, and it started talking about certain things, certain foods that those who are A blood type shouldn't eat. And I started saying, wow, I wonder, this is why this is why my body reacts this way when I eat
Right.
certain things, because it's going against my DNA.
Mm.
So it's interesting. It's interesting. It's an interesting book. Eat for your type. Eat the
Yeah,
letter
I
for.
need that. You need to add that below
Yeah,
the video live stream, because I think that would be really really good option for people,
right. Let's see if I can.
especially if you're on a new journey. I mean, that's
Right.
like the basis, your DNA. But again, people are not aware of that different blood types should be eating or not eating different foods.
Right.
So that's something new.
I am typing that in, and I just posted
Yes,
it.
thank you. I think he disappeared. I'm going to give him a minute to come back. I know he was just sharing that book for us. I'm definitely going to look into that myself. Definitely, as you said, Javon, team plant-based. I believe I am that, but I'm also I also have some things that I have to work on cutting out myself, and I'm not sure if I'm trying to go completely vegan or anything like that. But I do like vegan food, but I don't know if I'll go 100% vegan. But I am in the process of it. So.
Now, vegan food is really good.
Yeah.
I like vegan cuisine as well. There are a number of vegan restaurants throughout. Well, there's a number of vegan restaurants throughout, collectively, Newark, Jersey City, Broadway, that I've become familiar with through an organization called Mercy for Animals. They've been contracting vegan restaurants to provide meals in urban neighborhoods. They've been supporting some of our programs in Newark as well. But vegan does not mean healthy. I know a lot of unhealthy vegans and vegetarians.
Wow, that's something. Yeah.
That consume a lot of junk food. Just
Right.
beer is vegan. So it doesn't mean you're living a healthy lifestyle because you're vegan. And and some people do it just because they think it's cute.
Right.
They treat it almost like a fashion statement.
Right.
Which is a whole nother topic. But so so I know a lot of vegans don't look for non-GM. They don't shop for non-GMO products, or they don't look for organic
Yes, Javon.
USDA organic made products and stuff. So not all vegans are. Just because you're vegan doesn't mean, or vegetarian doesn't mean it's that person is living this healthy lifestyle.
And excuse me, I'm glad you brought that point up, because a lot of people compare themselves to people who say they are, vegan, vegetarian, and it makes them feel bad, like they're not living up to a certain standard. Right. When in reality, as Javon said, vegan definitely doesn't mean healthy. Right. So it's not always about the title or what you call yourself.
Right.
Javon says you have to do your refresh on what's healthy and what's GMO. I think he meant research. You have to do your research on what's healthy and what's GMO.
That's true. I agree. Yeah, and so you have to become a food detective, and knowing how to shop and determining what's healthy for you and what's not healthy for you.
Yeah, a lot of people, even myself included, it's still pretty much clueless on that. And I'm someone who started a healthy journey, and it's still a lot for me. I'll look at labels and things. I'll actually read them, but I still don't 100% understand all of what it is I'm actually reading. Right. So it almost defeats the purpose of me reading it if I'm not sure what it is that I'm looking at.
Well, I can help you with some of that,
Thank you, Javon. Javon said, plus health is exercising and keeping up with health is healthy. Yes, that's right. Yes. Yeah.
Yes, he's on point. You know, that's
Yeah.
good. That's good. He's on point.
So
And
we like
so,
it's definitely people like you out here to help guide us.
hey, well, I'm doing my part, you know, and I'm learning, and I recently started like on this whole fitness thing that I'm on now, and I'm surrounding myself with more people that are into the same things. You know, they're into wellness and fitness, um, and into herbal medicines, and of course, I'm surrounded by people that are into growing their own food organically. Um,
Right.
I mean, yo, I got the red bottoms on. I'm good.
He's at the red bottom. That's all you need.
I'm in a good place right now, you know.
Yeah, that's what we all need to be. That's the aim. Despite what we have going on, we all have to get to that good place. Find what that good place is, and I really do think it starts with with your health.
Yeah.
Because if you don't feel it kind of affects everything else. I don't care how much money you have or all these materialistic things. If you're not feeling good in the inside, I mean, you may never be here to enjoy those things.
Well, that's true, and that's
You know.
true and sad, right?
Yeah, you want to have your health together so you're actually able to and enjoy your fruits.
Yeah.
Along with your loved ones.
But it's something we have to learn, right? We have to learn how to become healthy too, you know.
Yes, Javon. Yeah, we definitely do have to learn. There's a lot that people have to learn, but I feel like people have to be, optimistic as well.
Yeah.
And not get overwhelmed, like I said, by all the information that's out here. Because it almost feels like everybody now wants to say that they're, a health expert, and that's not true. Just like you were mentioning earlier, as far as the vegetarians and vegans, as soon as you just say you are, all of a sudden you're, an expert on on eating right, and that's not always the case.
Right.
Or being a certain body weight, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're healthy or not healthy either. A lot of people keep focused so much on the numbers, and it's not always about the actual number, your actual weight.
Right. I mean, I saw this guy. He was fit. I mean, his body was, just ripped. This guy was like seriously fit. And then,
yes,
it was a guy I ran into one day in the club when we used to go to clubs back.
I know, used to, right? Back then, last year?
It's like so long ago, right?
Back in the day.
2019, it was like back in the day, and back in 2019 when we used to go to clubs. And
back then, man. Ooh, those were the days.
And this was this was a club in the Philippines I was at. And I mean, this guy was ripped up. He was like he lived in the gym. And then 10 minutes later, he pulled out a cigarette. And I'm like, yo, this guy's crazy. How did he even get that way smoking?
Yeah.
And so it doesn't, so you're right. To your point, it's like just because you are this title, because you're this, your body is this image, doesn't necessarily mean you're living this healthy lifestyle. Who knows?
Right.
Who knows?
Well, you know how that doesn't just go with healthy eating. That's just in general. A lot of people just putting up, all these different facades and titles.
Here's some information
and calling themselves different things.
Right.
When they're really not, about that life. That's why you have to really know somebody to know, are they really doing what they're posting about or saying that they're doing.
That's true. So it's 8:01, and my meal time is done.
Yeah, I told you I got to get like you. I know you have to go, but just real quickly, can you just share your social media handles with everyone? I know you already shared your upcoming events that you have, how they can connect to you.
Right, so they can connect with me. Again, my name is Tobias Fox, and I can be found on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, um, and the handle is at Newark SAS. That's at
Mm-hmm.
Newark SAS. That's on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And I'm hoping those who can come out for next week's week-long citywide garden tour,
Mm-hmm.
please do come out. There's activities going on throughout the city of Newark at various sites in gardens and or urban farms. And these about 15 different gardens and urban farms that are opening themselves up to the public and say, hey, be a part of the community, be a part of this green space, be a part of sustainability and healthy living
Yeah.
lifestyle activities. And so I'm hoping people can come out and be a part of it because
Yes, me
I said
too.
before, we've been kind of sheltered in place and living in this kind of bubble of fear because of COVID-19.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But we need to kind of restore some sense of hope and life into our lives and get outdoors. I mean, look,
Yes. Mask,
we'll
mask
be
on.
raking
Get
up leaves. We're gonna be
outside.
raking up leaves. We're gonna be raking up leaves soon. Shoveling snow
Right.
after that.
God, I don't want to think
Like,
about that.
hey, come on, enjoy what's left of the warmer days.
Yeah.
Get out.
Just get out.
All right.
Again, you guys know you can follow me on the Q Productions. Tobias, I have your personal Instagram as well up on the
Thank you.
screen. But
Thank
again, people can follow you either that and your Newark SAS
Yes, they can.
Instagram. Again, you guys know that I'm obviously here on Facebook. I have a Facebook business page for On the Q Productions, as well as a YouTube. You can just type in On the Q Productions. I'm also on Twitter. I just got back on Twitter, I think about a week and a half ago. I was gone from Twitter for a long time, but I said, you know what? I'm starting new things again. Let me get back into it. That's, as you know, Tobias, that's another way to reach people. People love, tweeting and retweeting. So it's definitely a good way to promote things and get the word out. So I'm on there. I'm on LinkedIn as well. You guys can follow me on. And I'm still currently selling my T-shirts as well as sweatshirts, mugs, posters on teespring.com / On the Q Production. So please check that out. I have sales going on right now, and I definitely appreciate the support. I'm definitely going to be supporting you, Tobias, as well.
Thank you.
The upcoming citywide garden tour. Definitely learned a lot this evening. I'm going to look up the book that you mentioned. I don't know if you add. I believe you did, right? Earlier.
Yeah. E for your type, and I typed it in.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for doing that. I'm going to share that as well with other people. Again, I appreciate you coming on tonight, spitting that health knowledge to all of us. We all need this. It's always good to listen to someone who actually is knowledgeable and also passionate, about their work. So definitely appreciate having you coming on. Tonight I got to get on that eating before 8 p.m. I know you're gonna probably hit me up and ask me to see if I'm actually.
Why not? Why not?
Accountability partner.
And then the next meal isn't until when?
12 noon.
That's right. And then what do we do in between? What are we doing in between? So in between, for me, I drink lemon water and herbal teas in between that time. Okay.
Yeah. See, I do that too, but I do that when I wake up in the morning and then I eat. So.
Yeah. No. Or you don't eat. Drink the tea. The herbal tea, and then give your body, and if you can't wait to 12, that's okay. But at least give your body at least until like 11 p.m. to process and digest what you've given it the day before. It needs more time.
Yeah. Wow, that's something I didn't think about that. But again, I'm gonna sign off, you guys. Again, Tobias, I'm very appreciative as always. I'm pretty sure I'll probably have you back on, along with Bilal, to have you guys on. And I'm going to definitely try to come out this Saturday. I know you said throughout next week, so I'm definitely going to make, On the Q appearance. As I always like to say before I sign off, keep sweating yourself into a healthier self. So.
Nice. All right, peace.
All right, peace out. All right, good night, everyone.